Nerds and geeks back at it again. It is the legendary Saturday nights of the Nerd-O-Roundtable. Yeah. Yours truly, King Nerdificent Twala Sharp, back in the building, joined by Anthony from 2 Cubicles Down. How you doing, brother?
Hello, fellow morons.
Yes. Ryan Twitch Master McBain.
I love you guys.
Yeah, it's good. Cunningham.
It was Rocket's story all along.
See? And there it is. You already know it is all about Guardians 3. I can tell you guys for a fact, all of the hype, all of the press, all of the thumbs up ratings, the Rotten Tomatoes, everything that you all have seen, it's true. It's all true. There is no lies told in this being one of, and it could be because there's been such an up and down. There's been a love-hate fest over the last year and a half or so with all things Marvel. And it could be because everyone has been so starved for a solid, thorough 100% return to the Marvel, the MCU of old. But James Gunn absolutely knew the assignment. He understood it well, and he executed like a fucking G. He walked out of Marvel Studios and said, deuces, see me over at fucking DC where I continue to wreck shit. For me right now, James Gunn, he's got my money anytime his name is on something. What say you, McBain?
Look, the MCU is gonna miss James Gunn. Okay, no one's gonna take his place. DC is getting the gym. I can't tell you how much I love this fucking movie. And I heard all the press, like, yeah, it's the best movie since Endgame. You always hear that shit. I was like, okay, all right. I sat down. I was just blown away for like the entire fucking movie. Everything just made sense to me. Like everything, nothing was wasted. From fucking the scene where Nebula is asking Rocket, why are you using those gravity boots? That comes back later on in the fucking movie. Even like the things that I didn't like were so minute. It didn't even fucking matter because it was so well written. One of the differences, one of the reasons why James Gunn is so much better than someone like Taika Waititi. By the way, Thor: Love and Thunder sucked ass. But one of the reasons why he's so much better than he is, the scene where the whole team is watching Rocket being operated on. It's a dark fucking scene. No jokes are being told. If Taika Waititi was writing that scene, there'd have been a dumb joke in there. James Gunn isn't afraid to let it breathe. Sometimes, bro, you're going to cry. Sometimes there isn't going to be a joke. I also love the fact that the villain, the evolutionary, was just a fucking bad person. He was a fucking dick. You didn't need some 5 fucking minute stupid scene of why someone's bad. Sometimes someone's just bad. Sometimes someone's just a fucking asshole. And he took that to the whole nother level. There's one scene in the movie where the flashbacks, by the way, were fucking great. One flashback when Rocket escapes and the otter, I'm just gonna call the otter, I forget her name.
Lila.
She gets shot. I saw that coming a mile away. Still fucking broke my heart. Even when I knew things were gonna happen, it still hurt me. I felt sadness. So that broke me.
Am I the only one that jumped when that gunshot went off? Because I jumped, literally jumped out of my seat. I was like, the fuck?
Dude, I jumped when I thought that Star-Lord was gonna die. But this scene, okay, that broke me when Lila died. Then when the guards come in and start shooting at Rocket and they miss and kill all his other buddies. At first I was like, dude, that fucking sucks. But then my dark side took over. And I was like, you motherfuckers got the aim of a fucking stormtrooper trying to shoot Rocket and you kill all his fucking friends.
Well, but they couldn't kill Rocket. That was the point. He needed to keep Rocket alive. But
they were shooting at him though. That's the thing.
To be honest, I was relieved when that fucking spider rabbit got it.
Yeah.
Floor?
That floor was so fucked up.
You hit the floor, all right.
Yeah, man. So
Hey.
I will say this. You said something, Twala, in the lead up, and I have to push back on the notion that people are like rating this on a curve because there's been so much bullshit in phase 4. That is inaccurate. This is, I was trying to do my mental calculations to see if I could get it into top 5 of MCU. I don't think I'm quite there.
I hear you.
There's a lot of movies, so it's hard.
There's a lot of movies, but there's no question that it's top 10. And
Absolutely.
And it's right outside top 5 as far as I'm concerned. And when you consider that nobody really 10 years ago when Guardians came out and it was like, who the fuck are the Guardians of the Galaxy? I mean, you know, for people who are not comic book folks, but to care about these, if Iron Man was C list or D list, the Guardians are Q. And to create a story where you absolutely care about what happens to each and every one of these characters, and there are a lot of characters to care about, but to make us care about these characters and then make us care about some new characters,
some animals,
some cyborg animals in a way that was genuine and emotional is an achievement. And I will say that Gunn as a storyteller has demonstrated both through Peacemaker and through the Guardians films, although I think this is hands down the best Guardians film.
It might be. It's definitely better than 2. It's definitely better than 2.
Not might be. It is the best because, and this is why, Chris Pratt is a lot dialed down. And that frat boy bullshit ass energy was replaced by an earnestness, first with the loss of Gamora and then with Rocket being his best friend, or as Drax would say, second best.
Second best friend.
Second best.
But he absolutely, when they were on that table and Rocket briefly had that thing and he was fucking screaming, that was Wrath of Khan level acting.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate Chris Pratt. This is the
really
only
you
thing I
do.
hate Chris
we
Pratt.
had no idea, Tom.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Thank you for telling us that.
I James Gunn made me care about Chris Pratt, and so fuck you, James Gunn, for making me care about Chris Pratt. But this was really, 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 I called it a return to form. This is the best of what we wanted and used to come to expect out of a Marvel film.
Yeah.
When we were disappointed in like Iron Man 3 or disappointed at Thor 2 or disappointed at
Thor 3, yes.
Not Thor
4.
Yeah,
Thor
4. No,
my
Thor
bad.
3 was a tour de force.
Yes,
but you know, this was like Winter Soldier.
Oh hell yes.
This was among, just hands down, it had exactly the right blend of humor. It had heart. It had pathos. Fucking Mantis wore the goddamn thing out. Gamora, and I don't know when she got an Enya above her N in her name. I always thought it was Zoe Saldana, but now apparently it's Zoe Saldana, which, okay, girl, 20 movies later, but whatever. You were not Tandiwe Newton, but you know, it was an amazing
cared about every
film.
single fucking character on that team.
Every character. I even cared. Listen, I cared when the High Evolutionaries minions turned against him. I was like, God damn! Like,
you wanna know why? Because he was a fucking dick. That's why.
He was a bad guy.
His acting when he was explaining, and James Gunn was explaining the acting that was brought to the table by the High Evolutionary. I knew it because I like him as an actor. I loved his performance in Peacemaker. But I think that we got such a raw, I mean, like, this is a character who did not need a deep backstory because his insanity and his obsession was so upfront. To your point earlier, Ryan, you didn't need to understand him. He was an asshole. Everyone around him knew it. And it was like one of those people that by the time it comes, you're like, he's someone that you love to hate. I love the introduction of Warlock. I thought the way that they played that against the backdrop of the Golden People. I thought that the introduction. I thought Will Powder played it perfectly.
Yeah.
Everyone came to the table, and to me it was one of those things that I'm like I was actually, and I'm a Guardians fan. I love Guardians 1, 2. I watch them all the time. I'm one of those people who I
Yeah.
just love the chemistry of that crew. So this for me, I'm like, dude, you James Gunn, dude, you fucking genius.
He got me
Welcome
angry.
to the show, Dr. Liz. How you doing, sister?
Hey everyone.
Liz with the good hair. We see you, girl.
I know I'm having a good hair day.
Yes. Man. What were your thoughts, Anthony?
I mean, I was gonna send it in the group chat, but yeah, High Evolutionary, he's just a bad guy. He's not misunderstood like Killmonger or any of the other, MCU villains who's just, misinterpreted as what he's trying to do. No, he was just all along piece of shit. And the scene in the end when his crew turns on him and he just wipes them all fucking off the planet right there. I was like,
even Thanos was like, really, all of them? Why not half?
Yeah.
I mean,
just think about that.
He just goes like to 100 like that. And I was like, he is just a bad guy. There's no misunderstanding. But the thing that caught me off guard was at the end when they're like, fucking him up, and Gamora puts her sword through him, and then Drax is like, all right, now shoot him, like kill him. Like, oh no, he's gonna die. Like she straight up showed her sword right through that guy. He is done. It's a matter of time.
I have to say real quick before Liz jumps in with.
Well, they said it was a god, right?
He wasn't a god.
He
though.
said so.
He said he's a god. He said that. They were worshiping him because he created so many people.
Mm.
They were worshiping him kind of as a god, but he said, there is no god, so I had to step in.
Yeah.
That was a good line, by the way.
That was a savage line.
He was the Bond villain of the MCU. Just Auric Goldfinger. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do my thing. Drax from Moonraker. He was the big outsized Bond villain that you didn't care why. His why is because I wanted to, and I can.
Because
and
I can.
It. And I got to say, that sequence where he let loose those hell beasts or whatever, and the Guardians at the end open that door, and there they are. That was one of the tightest, best choreographed fight sequences in the MCU, hands down, flat out.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely amazing. It was an abattoir in that small ass room, and they fucking kicked ass and killed all those fucking things. It was amazing. Gamora got her shit off. You actually saw her as the most dangerous woman in the galaxy, I think, probably for the first time.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely amazing. It was,
the shit with Nebula with the they pushed.
Oh yeah,
they pushed that character to the limits, and I mean, it again. It's one of those things. I'm like, he's been waiting a long time to tell this exact story. You could tell how much goes into it, how much story that there is, and the fact that you're able to literally wrap up and tie up so many loose ends and give us so much hope for a future. It's phenomenal. What were your thoughts, Liz?
It reminds me of how Infinity War was, took you through so many emotions, and it was jam-packed. Like every scene was important from the first scene to the end. And even how Infinity War leaves you like, wait, we can't end it like this. And I felt the same way with this, as I was like exhausted with how it was just one thing after the other. And it was like, wait, when things you feel like is wrapped up, it's not carefully wrapped up. And actually, when I first thought about like, wait, this whole thing is going to save Rocket, and I was like, okay, and then I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. And I even love the idea that they had this in an almost Earth. So then you don't have the idea that there should have been somebody else coming.
Ah, yeah.
There no need to have somebody else coming because there is, it looks like Earth. It's just a whole different thing. There's no interjection. And so I just thought the whole thing was so nicely tied up tight that it gives you the feeling that yes, there could be, you know, all of them can come back at any given point. They're not dead off. They're not off completely. They can be brought back into if any point if they need to be. Um, I also was really loved how Nebula's, you know, think about like how we got to see her in the beginning and how her whole transformation of a character is really fascinating. And to become like, oh, I'll just take care of the planet. It also gives you, isn't it interesting that something that's kind of like who may perceive as a throwaway with the Guardians of Holiday
Yeah.
also becomes like a pickup for, you know, that this picks up from even the Guardians Holiday show. So it's like you need to kind of, you don't need to see it, but it'll give you a more enriched experience if you did see the Guardians Holiday show.
Especially
One of
for
the
the
assholes
credit
sitting
scene.
next to me commented on that. They were just like, tried to get into a whole conversation of what, brother, what are they talking? I'm like, fucking shut up and go watch the damn. Oh yeah, that pissed me off. But yeah.
Every character evolved, which is why I love this trilogy. Every character evolved. And I go back to the scene where Nebula is looking at what was happening to Rocket, and she goes, "This is worse than what Thanos did to me." I was like, "Fuck, man, this scene is great." I go back to that scene. I love that scene.
Yeah. I've already got tickets for me and the entire family to see it Sunday, and I actually can't wait. It's been quite some time since I've been this excited. Excited, literally, genuinely excited about watching a Marvel product. There's a lot of films I've seen I've liked. I liked, you know, most everything comes out like, I like it. It's cool. It's cool. I see this, that, or the other, right? But like, you know, the kids didn't get to see Quantumania, and they're like, oh, okay, it's still in theaters. I'm like, it'll be on TV soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah,
but I gotta go to theaters.
Spider-Man, but I still like Spider-Man No Way From Home. And I mean, I've seen it every which way. And even the extended version, like I can watch that over and over again. But I will say that I found at this one, just like No Way Home, you had people clapping at the end of this. You had people clapping at the end of this movie. So there's, I think it was deeply appreciated that.
Look, I'm not gonna lie,
deeply
man.
appreciated.
I like No Way Home. It was a good movie.
I got choked up. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like there was
Same
a couple
here.
times where I was like, "Damn it, what is?" I'm like taking my glasses over my eyes. I'm like, "Ooh, that was," because it's not expected. It's like I was almost thrown off the notion that it could be that serious, that real, and that raw, because most of what we've seen from recent, you know, films, with the exception of Spider-Man No Way Home, have been fun, have been light, light stakes, you know, a lot of future, you know, leading kind of stuff. But outside of the series, nothing has been serious, right? There's been no real like, oh shit, no edge of the seat stuff.
We got Black Panther too.
No, I mean, but to me, that was a great and beautiful adventure. I love that, but it did not fill me with the sense of it. It wasn't as intense. Like that's a film I loved watching. It's beautiful. I love the story. I love the action and all of that. And of course, yeah, that shit got to the end. Rihanna singing. I'm like, fucking T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like that's one of those. Like yes, but this was. It was such a visceral reaction.
Yes,
you know, it is that's why it's
because
the Winter Soldier of late, because that's what it is.
Because it's offbeat from 1 and 2. Because 1 and 2 is, you know, like
no, this was the Goofy franchise, and I took both of my boys. I ended up paying $50 on top of my free ticket because we wanted to see it on the day of, and we didn't see it in IMAX Laser, but we saw it in Dolby Prime, which was also a really strong presentation. And I gotta say, I had a mouth agape moment when it looked like Peter Quill was going to get the Yondu treatment.
Dude,
And when
same,
his face,
exactly same, yes.
it was when his face blew up, I
Yes.
said, holy
This
fuck,
is
they
it.
just killed him.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God, they just killed him. Oh
I
my
held my
fuck, they
breath.
just killed him. And I was like, he's really leaving the franchise. Like, oh shit, like this is real. This is stakes. This is huge. And then fucking Adam Warlock comes and saves his ass. And I was like, well, okay.
I like the little finger at the end.
Yeah, the finger of God thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
pretty
like,
funny.
oh, you know what? Why'd you save him? And then he actually spoke. I thought, for a second, because Mantis was the one who told me he's dead. When she screamed and Nebula was like, fucking no. And I was like, you just had to get your Walkman. You just had to get your Walkman. And
that was such a tie back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
such a
It's his iPad.
It was amazing.
iTunes or some shit.
No, his iPod.
It was an iPod, but I'm saying that was the stage up from the Walkman that he had in the first couple of movies. He finally caught up with technology. But I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. I couldn't believe that they were going to do this. And then for them to say that Star-Lord will return, it kind of says, okay, well,
the legendary Star-Lord.
Oh, okay, right.
Yes.
Can't forget that one, Tom.
And they gave us kind of a preview of what perhaps the new
Guardians,
what the new Guardians would kind of look like. I don't know how Jub Girl or Jib Girl actually got powers. They kind of looked like actually Kamala Khan powers, a little bit at the very tail end of it. And I actually thought for a moment, am I crazy? Was that the same planet from Thor: Love and Thunder?
I hope not. I want no connection to that.
I thought it was the Screaming Goat planet where they kind of fucked everything up, but I didn't remember.
I'm not sure. I thought it was something from the, I don't know if y'all watched the Groot, the I Am Groot Adventures.
I did. Yeah.
The little I thought, I was like, is that the Groot planet? Is that the one of the planets he went to? It looked familiar. I'm like, I swear we've seen this before.
It didn't matter. I love the composition of, a new heavy hitter. I love that, we see that Adam Warlock is becoming less stupid. And from the comic books, Adam Warlock was not dumb when he first emerged. He was just more silent.
Well,
he didn't have as much to say.
They even explain why he was kind of like
They did. No, she did, because he was taken out
young,
early.
out early.
And so I was fine with that. And I was fine with, why did you do that? And everybody deserves a second chance. I thought everything just was good. Worked. And to the extent that No Way Home actually had some plot hole stuff that was kind of annoying. I mean, you buy it because Toby's there and Andrew's there, but there were some plot holy things that were annoying. There wasn't anything in this movie that annoyed me. Like, this is, oh, fuck this shit. Like, this is just bullshit. I was, even to the extent where the High Evolutionaries' perfect planet ended up being like a very bland Edward Scissorhands suburbia until they were selling crack to roach head people. But they tied it all together. P 319, he was the only one who actually developed real intellect. And that was the key, that they weren't just peaceful people who could be trained. He actually was an improvement. His brain was the key to everything. And so it all tied together. His mania, he honestly didn't give a fuck about anything other than what he wanted. And so everybody was literally expendable except Rocket.
Yeah.
And that was him as a villain.
And he had no emotional connection to any decision. It was like, incinerate him.
Just think about this one thing. Okay. James Gunn's such a good writer that he got Tom to care about Star-Lord. Chris Pratt. Okay?
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I look at James Gunn. I think that he has been quietly excelling as a filmmaker, as a writer, as bringing true visions of nerddom to life. I mean, the onlyest things that I absolutely love from DC come from The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. Those are things that I love. There's stuff that I like. And okay, I've watched them, but I own The Suicide Squad. You know what I'm saying? I own Peacemaker. Like I'm like his style and his humor, it hits right with me, and I can see why he is tasked with bringing Superman back, because he's like, look, you guys know what I've done over at Marvel. Guardians 1 was huge, Guardians 2 was huge. This one is going to be through the moon, right? For DC, in order for him to actually make it official, for people to take DC Studios serious, he does have to take on Superman. If he would have done Creature Commandos as the first feature and he did it, everyone would have been like, yeah, but that's just Guardians mixed with Suicide Squad and you're doing another thing. For him to take on Superman and say, I'm going to give you guys a serious treatment on Superman, not the dark Snyder like treatment, but I'm going to give you a treatment on Superman that has all of the heart and what I feel is a certain level of humor that Superman needs, but I'm going to tell a very different story, a story that's going to make you look at Superman differently. I believe him, and I know that for DC Studios to be taken serious, for people to just stop bitching and saying bring back the Snyderverse, for people to get all of the bullshit out of their mind, and people to actually get over these last few stupid films that are coming out, he's going to have to put his stamp down on the universe and say, if he's able to give us a solid, well-rounded, absolutely phenomenal Superman story, then he becomes, the GOAT from fucking MCU directors
he will.
director,
Dude,
period.
He knows the source material. Snyder does not. Okay, James Gunn, he knows his shit.
Here's the thing. I think, and I put this in my post, and I talked to Ryan about it when he thought I was talking about James Wan, which I was not.
My mistake. I apologize.
James Gunn's demonstrated authority of storytelling is with quirky characters.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He has not dealt with people with the iconic pop culture baggage of the big three, much less Superman.
Yes.
And so he can tell a story, but where Snyder went left that helped to facilitate a lot of these problems is that Snyder wanted to put his spin on an iconic character, and that spin was bad. I don't think James Gunn is going to shit the bed like Snyder did, but Gunn has not shown me a story where there's one guy, not a guy who's surrounded by 6 guys who can do comic relief and can fill in the blanks and you can draw focus and da-da-da-da-da. I haven't seen the James Gunn movie where it's one story being told and that story is full of gravitas or whatever. Not with one. Everything he's done has been ensemble, and mostly ensemble with bullshit characters.
Yep.
Polka Dot Man and Ratcatcher 2, not even Ratcatcher fucking 2, and Bloodsport. And granted, that was just because you couldn't have Deadshot. But, that's where he shines. He shines in quirky characters and telling small stories and making you care about small people. I haven't seen the movie from James Gunn that says, I get it. I really think he's going to be able to nail X. If it were a Justice League movie, with the Flash and with Cyborg and maybe with some characters that you don't care as much about, or Martian Manhunter, I 100% buy it. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, just because A, you've got 12 shit movies, mostly shit movies, that you've got to wipe the memory of. B, you've got at least two more movies before we see anything from him. And the one that he is tackling first is the movie that has had the most versions of the character entered into the pop cultural consciousness. You're pushing against Chris Reeves. You're pushing against Man of Steel, which was not a horrible movie. You're pushing against Superman Returns, which was a horrible movie. You know, you're pushing against Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice. You're pushing back against Justice League. Shit movie. And you don't have Cavill.
That's why I think the only reason he's doing this, I think, because he is fully aware of that opinion, Tom. I believe that he's not stupid. He's like, I know what people think I'm capable of. If I pull this off, that's what I'm saying. That's what would make him the GOAT. If he is able to pull that off, it's like, yeah, dude, you're on GOAT level, dude, because that's something that no one has been able to do outright. I'd say personally, since the Richard Donner version of Superman 2, really and truly, that's like the one version of any Superman film that I like from beginning to end.
I think
beginning to end, Superman 2, the Christopher
big
Reeve.
cellophane S. You bought the cellophane S.
No, the full on version of that film, when you see the full version of Richard Donner's story, it's like everything makes sense. Not as it came out. You got to get.
But I didn't buy the time reversal thing again. And granted, it would have been different if he had, blah blah blah. Listen. Superman 2 was a strong Superman movie, for sure. Without the cellophane S. Yeah. Everything else about it really works. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not doubting James Gunn. I'm just saying I ain't seen it yet.
Yeah. To Tom's point, I agree. Everything he says is valid. He hasn't got that shot yet. Now he's getting that shot. But I will say this. Everything that James Gunn has written and directed, if it was a kilo of cocaine, I would snort the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. I can see that.
Look,
I can see you snorting that
cocaine.
Like Scarface.
I agree with Tom, but I'm gonna say, like, I know that until, I guess you guys are gonna make me regret saying this in the future, but I love Henry Cavill as Superman, and I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. And so the idea of replacing those two, especially since Wonder Woman minus 84 has just kind of, and then you have a movie this year with Wonder Woman in it, Gal Gadot in it. I just, it hurts my heart of the notion that you're going to kind of replace these people. And as much as I don't mind Supergirl coming in with the Flash, but I'm gonna say that it rubs me a little bit that we're going to have in this alternative timeline Supergirl, and we not going to get a Superman. We still have the man that he fights against in this movie, and then Superman is.
I mean, the way that they've explained it,
amazing movie, and that's why I don't like this. It'd be one thing if you just said you won't believe what the Flash brings, but to say this is one of the best movies and you're actually using this as your thing, that doesn't give me confidence that he is for him to, because that's bullshit. And I said it when we watched the trailer, and this is not a spoiler because y'all been done seeing what I believe is the last trailer or whatever. You don't get to fuck with this story and say, fuck Thomas Wayne. It's just going to be, it's just going to be Tim Burton Batman.
It's still Michael Keaton, though.
It is Michael Keaton. That's great. He should have just been Thomas Wayne then. Why make him Bruce Wayne? The fan.
You mean why make him Batman?
No, why make him Batman. In Flashpoint, Batman is Thomas Wayne. It's not. Bruce gets killed and Thomas goes on the vengeance. So the fan service is Michael Keaton in the suit. The fan service isn't Tim Burton Michael Keaton. The fan service is Michael Keaton in the suit. So just like you had Toby, just like you had Andrew, that's the fan service. But keep Flashpoint. Keep it different. You're not bringing Michael Keaton back as Batman anyway. He's there as a gag. Just like Ben Affleck is there as a gag. Ben Affleck is not going to be Batman.
Yeah.
So just
I mean, look,
and you cut out so much because
they should not have done a Flashpoint movie except for the sole purpose of using it as the final thing from the last regime and using it as a jump off point for this new universe. Otherwise, the film doesn't serve any purpose. And I don't see someone who's taken over DC Studios coming out and saying, "Yeah, the film is shit." You know what I'm saying? But I agree. It's not. There's so much baggage tied to it, as Jose is pointing out. There's so much baggage tied to it that it's going to make it hard for most everyone to go out and check this film out. I mean, and again, I get it. The fact that
Henry
yeah.
and Gal Gadot.
No, I mean, look,
Well, there are a lot of people like me, my age, that are going to see it just for Michael Keaton. I am. That's the only reason why I'm seeing this.
I
fucking
know,
movie.
but I'm just saying that the fan favorites at this point are those two.
And the
I don't
studio
know
to say you're not going to care. He's so excellent. You're not going to care about it. No bullshit.
The production design. I mean, I mean, again, this is one of those things where, again, I keep hearing more and more people within the realm of therapy and psychology and just people who examine those with actual diagnosed mental illness saying, if this man has a mental disability, if this man is differently able mentally, if there is something actually clinically happening with Ezra Miller, then why can't they be given that thing that we always ask of people who are suffering from some type of clinical mental illness, and saying, man, that individual should get help? And I don't know if you all know, but I know of so many different cases of actors and actresses. Maia Campbell is one of the most known in television, who they had her on all of her drugs while she was on All in the House or In the House, whatever the LL show was. And the instant that she was off of that show and her mother wasn't getting any more money from her, you know, she was off on her own, didn't keep her on her drugs. And that little girl, last time I saw her, she was on the boulevard. Okay. She was out there like that. And she had a clinical mental disability. There are so many people that do, not just depression, but people who super talented, but their issues are masked. And if this is an individual who was thrust into the spotlight, and his handlers or the studio or whoever kept all of that stuff at bay, and then it just got to the point where it was it's out of control, and they just are on one, then that's that. But because that has not been officially addressed, because it was just tried to be dismissed by them saying, I'm going through a difficult time and I'm going to go and get help. I don't know if that's sat well with enough people for that to be the thing.
And
so I don't know if this is going to be good.
You remember how he was kept in the Fantastic Beasts trilogy, and Johnny Depp was replaced.
Yep. No.
Listen, you don't get to cancel Jonathan Majors and keep Ezra Miller.
No, you do not.
They canceled Johnny Depp.
Well, I mean, Marvel hasn't dealt with the Jonathan Majors issue yet formally, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But, you know, and it may be that Marvel is actually waiting for it to play out just like the James Gunn situation played out, where he was gone for a minute and then they realized that.
Or the Jeremy Renner, where they just said, let's just be quiet about it. Let's not say anything. It'll die out.
And
let's not feed into it.
Because he has a TV show that came out on Disney Plus.
But that was before the accident. We still don't
know. No, I'm not talking about the accident. I'm talking about the spousal abuse.
Yeah.
That happened prior to Hawkeye being released. The alleged spousal abuse.
And this is where
the show came out 2 weeks later.
Right.
Because they had an interview in 2020.
We said that his attorneys, that Major's attorneys, shouldn't have said that there was video proof, because we still haven't seen the video. You should have just shut up and let things play out. You know, the army thing is what the army thing was. Losing the Dennis Rodman thing, I don't know if that was great casting anyway. But it's I mean it hasn't turned into as big a thing. You've got people coming out of the woodworks, but it is a little bit different because the specificity of what these other people have come out and say, it's more like co-signing, like, yeah, he was a dick, but was he actually physically abusive? Was he just kind of a psychological dick? Is he Army Hammer, or is it, you know, bad breakups?
Mm-hmm.
And so none of that has really, I mean, it's not like there's new charges being filed. It's just people are piling on.
There is a new last week, you know, there's a restraining order against him that was granted.
Well, sure, but they broke up, right? And so, you know, that's not exactly unusual. He's got, I mean, he was arrested.
I have never had a restraining order against any of my exes.
No, I understand, but you also, one imagines, never had the police called on any of them either.
I never have.
So, right, and so, you know, right now, if she's trying to have her moment, and I'm not weighing in on one side or the other, really, she hasn't said much of anything, so we don't know what's going on. What we know is that supposedly at one point she was not cooperating with the police, and, you know, that does not appear to have changed. But you know, a restraining order, if there was a physical altercation, then a restraining order is not unusual. Whether or not how it's going to play out is still an open question. But what is not an open question is whether or not Ezra Miller took them kids to a farm and had guns and was grooming and shit. That nobody is really contesting that.
No,
and that he was on the run.
It's interesting that all that went away. All that was quietly. Those individuals aren't claiming nothing anymore. That parent,
the whole Rolling Stones interview.
I would not be I would not be surprised. And after this movie comes out, DC just says, "Okay, Ezra, get the fuck out of here." All right, and then he's arrested or some shit goes down because they need him from this fucking movie. And after this,
no. He's not doing any press,
right?
He's not doing nothing. He is done.
Yeah,
maybe they're just trying to show
Warner Brothers is keeping them away from from any press, anything. Michael Keaton is the one doing the press. Michael Keaton is doing the press, and now James Gunn is doing the press, and it's almost unfair for James Gunn because he's like, this is not my project. Like, I came in here like you guys were already finishing this without me.
Buff, Christian, you know, with I'm gonna say his name, but Shia LaBeouf,
Shia LaBeouf, yeah.
It reminds you of that because his name was attached heavily to the Transformers franchise, and then he went awry.
But he wasn't grooming children,
right? He was not.
He was just getting in bar fights.
Yeah, he's a drunk and a.
He was what's his name from Breakfast Club?
Oh,
Judge? Was it?
No, Judd.
Christopher Judd or something like that?
No, Judd Reinhold. Not Reinhold. What's the dude's name?
No, oh my God.
Hold on.
My sister is flipping you off right now. She fucking loved both that character and the actor.
Judd Hirsch? No, what is the dude's name?
No, my God, stop. Just stop saying wrong things.
Judd Nelson.
Yeah.
Judd Nelson. He's just
Reinhold? What?
Yeah. Jesus. Judd Reinhold, for fuck's sake.
But you know what?
Ralph on Abbott Elementary. That Judd Reinhold.
There are people who still to this day that still defends people like the dude who married his stepdaughter.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Still.
That wasn't his stepdaughter, but sure.
Okay, his girlfriend's adopted daughter.
That's fair.
That's not better.
Really? That's not better.
I just said
that's not better.
Daughter.
Yeah. Hey, real quick though, before we run too far because we haven't connected in a minute. What did y'all think of the Mandalorian season finale? A lot of people wanted to know what we thought about that because leading up to it, there was a lot of like hemming and hawing about it. What were your thoughts on it?
No comment. Haven't seen the season.
Oh, okay. Well, you
Okay.
know, I preferred season 2 over this season.
Okay.
Though
Everybody did.
Yeah, but I did not hate season 3 at all. There's only one episode I fucking liked. It was Twaba's fucking favorite, the fucking Jack Black episode. It was fucking shit.
All right.
Fucking, but other than that, but other than that, it was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna end that way. Some things kind of like surprised me here and there. It was just fine. I think they kind of played it safe. I kind of like chuckled at like the ending scene where like the circles around Grogu. I thought like you're gonna see a Porky Pig go bleep bleep bleep. That's all, folks. But yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
You can tell that they're kind of moving away from Mando and kind of focusing more on Bo-Katan, which is fine because I like Bo-Katan. But they've kind of like, correct term, I don't know, but like they're kind of depowered Mando because seasons 1 and 2 he was a fucking badass. This season he's getting saved left and right.
Except in that finale when he went ham. He went ham.
Oh.
But I mean,
you're
what's
saying
interesting is they're
better
giving
than
him a
Nursing
4th
Home?
season. They're doing
are they?
season 4. Yeah.
Yeah, they filmed 3 and 4 back to back.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's better than the nursing home pamphlet of Boba Fett?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes, by all means. There's only 2 good episodes in that fucking that show.
And
That
they
was
don't
Luke
involve
Skywalker.
I only watched those 2 episodes because
That's all you need to watch.
you
That's all
all
you
were
need to watch.
complaining so much.
Yeah.
With
Don't
the
watch
teenage,
anything else. You will be mad at life if you try to watch the rest of that damn show. The 2 Mando episodes, they inform the entirety of the Mandalorian season 3. Season 4 is coming, it'll come after Ahsoka because season 4 of Mando or the Mandalorian has what's name is his presence is heavy. Thrawn's presence is heavy in season 4 as it will be throughout Ahsoka. Also the Star Wars Vision season 2. So far I've only seen the first episode, the Sith. How's it looking? Is it good?
I watched 1 and 7, I want to say. The other one was about the Death's Head, the head, whatever. That was really good. I skip over. I look at the thumbnails for Star Wars Visions, and if the animation style is too goofy, I pass. So
Okay.
Mo said he had watched. I
Mo
seriously
said he watched all of them.
You're fucking
Well, no, but
treating
I'm
it like
saying-
a fucking salad bar. Just
when
skip
he
it
first,
from
when
place to
he
place.
first came in, he said he had watched 1 and 5. And so I looked at 1 and 5 and I said he liked both of those. So I'm going to put those in my memory hole. And then I'm going to look for another one that I thought looked cool. And that's when I settled on the one that was about the head or whatever. And I thoroughly enjoyed that one. And because I thoroughly enjoyed that one, I went back and started with 1, which is where Mo said he liked it. And he said he didn't like another one. So I'm enjoying them. But I have no doubt that just like the goofy one that was about a concert on Tatooine.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm sure there's another really worthless, tacky, tired one, and at least one. And you all who have watched them all were at the inevitable question was there another 9th Jedi or a 10th Jedi?
10th Jedi.
Jedi.
Is there Anthony?
I haven't watched them yet.
Okay.
But no,
Okay.
Mo said there is no sequel or a 10th Jedi.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that
wow.
is a shame.
What else are y'all watching? What you watching, Liz?
On Apple TV.
I thought she had
I
watched
did-
everything on Apple TV.
No. There's a couple new things. Ghosted just came out last week. It was actually
Oh
pretty
my
good.
God.
I liked it.
Wait, Ghosted with
Chris Evans and Ana de
Ana de
Armas.
Armas?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was it good?
I liked it, and the thing the thing that was interesting about it, which is what everybody's getting upset over, is they brought in a bunch of people from the MCU.
The cameos were fine.
The cameo,
What was not fine, and
and they killed them all.
my
Did they bring in Iron Fist?
they did not. thankfully.
And he made a comment. He was like, because you know how he goes to your, look on your left, or when he comes through the
On your left, yep.
game, on your left. So then in the movie, he's like on your right.
Yeah,
and then
that part was fine. I enjoyed that part. What I told this to my sister, the screenwriter who's about to enter a PhD program in screenwriting in the fall.
That's
Tony
awesome.
Cunningham, sibling nerdory. I said Arna de Armas, whatever, is 85 pounds soaking wet. She does not get to kick the shit out of a 300-pound.
That's fair.
Military trained juggernaut of a motherfucker. She does not. I don't give a fuck. You do not get to do that, Anna. And also, I don't think anybody wants to see Chris Evans, America's ass, be a whiny bitch.
He is.
And he's a whiny bitch in this movie.
Oh my God.
He was fine in The Gray Man, where he was a bad guy, but he was a badass bad guy.
Yeah,
he is
okay.
a whiny ass bitch in this movie throughout. He never is not.
Oh, he's not. I thought it was about him. He's not an action star in this.
He's not the action part. She's the action.
She's the spy.
But what's so fun? I mean, here's the funniest.
He's a florist.
That Tom is not gonna like.
He's a florist.
Is he goes to Europe, to London, and they think that he is somebody he's not, undercover or whatever.
Right, the tax man.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, so now he's running for his life, and he's like, I need my luggage, my rolling luggage. He's like pulling his luggage throughout the whole thing.
He went to Europe because he left his inhaler at her house, and he never gets the inhaler back.
No.
He's an asthmatic, and all these actions, he's in fucking Karachi with all that dust and shit. He's running with his fucking rollerboard luggage. He's swinging shit around. He's in underground bunkers. He's in all these different places getting his ass. Oh, and the final set piece is in a rotating restaurant that turns into a goddamn tilt-a-whirl. It is so fucking stupid. If the Gray Man was just explosions.
It was supposed to be stupid. It's a love.
It was. It was fine. Whatever.
It's a rom-com movie.
It was trash. You do get a cameo from Sebastian Stan, and you get a cameo from
Anthony Mackie.
You get a cameo, not an MCU cameo, but a cameo from
Judge Reinhold.
No, not from Judd Reinhold. From Harold, from Harold and Kumar.
Okay.
Or you could consider it a cameo from Cowboy Bebop, depending on how you wanted to look at it. There were so many MCU cameos that I thought maybe the Russo brothers actually executive produced or directed it, but they didn't. But what I will say is that I am intrigued by the new Amazon Prime series, Citadel.
That's what I was talking about.
All right.
Citadel's really good. The story is
and
not the story. You've seen the story. I don't know how many times.
It's
but
like Jason Bourne,
the action and the acting and the production quality of it.
Yes,
it's
a lot better than the other Amazon Prime series dealing with government secrets and all that other shit with the stony faced jaw guy who was an absolute unbelievable asshole in the last 2 episodes. But Citadel it's worth watching. I started watching The Power, which I don't know how I feel about it. Partially it's because of Toni Collette, I gotta say. But it seems a little heavy-handed. Basically, the premise of The Power is that teenage girls are manifesting electrical manipulation powers. And all of the girls are. Well, at least there's a potential for all of the women to get these superpowers. And they kind of imply that they need to develop these powers because they're being sexually or physically assaulted, which I don't mind that premise. It's just very kind of obvious. And Toni Collette is the mayor of this city of, I guess, of Seattle. I guess it's the most important city. And the governor is the guy from Sports Night. and I guess he was on another franchise before that. He's kind of a dick in this show, but everything is women are being oppressed, women are being oppressed, women are being oppressed, and so they're mutating to manifest these other powers. And the one of the nice things about it is that the guy from Ted Lasso who plays Obasanjo, the really nice Nigerian footballer.
Yeah.
I looked at him and I said, "Oh, that's T'Challa. He could be T'Challa."
Mm.
He's got a very similar build to Chadwick Boseman, and his disposition. Well, he's actually African, which doesn't hurt, and they kind of modeled Wakandan accents off of Nigerian accents, and Kosa, but which is South African, but he's got the right look, and I think he's got the right disposition, and they're positioning him to be an action person in the power thing. And so you could do a lot worse than to pick an actual African who is a fan favorite from Ted Lasso. And this may be the last season of Ted Lasso.
It is the last season.
I'm not upset at that. I don't dislike the show. I just I think it's time. They ham-handed a lesbian subplot in this season.
Yeah.
And, there can't be that many episodes left. I think I just finished watching episode 7, so there can't be that many left. And I just don't know what the resolution of the story is. 2 gay subplots they introduced this season. And it's just like what the audience wants, I think, is for there to be a showdown between the Greyhounds and between Rupert's team. I don't think anybody expects that they're going to be able to win the season just because they spent the middle 3 episodes of them being shit. So I don't know what we're going to get on this. And I don't know what the takeaway is going to be from this show, except that there's lots of nice characters that are really nice and a couple of characters that are shit. And I just don't know where we're going to end up. But I am less confident than ever before that I will be satisfied by the conclusion of Ted Lasso.
I've not watched a single episode.
I like Ted Lasso.
No. Hey, look, it's a beloved show. The awards say so. What you watching, Ryan?
There is a docuseries on the greatest rapper of all time on Hulu that's out right now called Tupac, and I'm going to start watching that. I'm sure it is. I'm a little behind, but I'm all about that. If anybody, all you guys who know me, who really know me, know that I love me some Pac. All you fucking kids today listen to your shit rap music. Nah, that shit's trash. That shit's whack.
Yeah, but they're not looking at it from. Yeah, but they're not looking at it from your perspective. That perspective that you're. I don't give a fuck.
I'm telling you how I feel. Okay, I love me some Pac. So anything with Pac in it, I'm gonna watch. So that has my attention. That's all I'm saying. Also, game wise, as you guys know, I've been playing the Star Wars game that came out last week. I've been all.
Oh, how is that?
Jedi Survivor. Apparently, I just found out that it's canon. It takes place during the purge of the Jedi, and it's pretty good, pretty nice. Vader gets in that ass. So, but
I did see your little screen grab of that. I might have to actually. You have to let me know when you're going to be doing Star Wars twitching this Twitch Master McBain.
Well, I beat it yesterday. I'll probably play it again because
I'm not talking about your Sex Master stuff. I'm talking about when you play Star Wars.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, that's
a rim shot.
Hey, good for you. If that crosses your mind, hey, if that,
bro, you introduced that. Did you say you're fappy for me? What was that?
Hey, I'm happy for you. I'm very happy for you.
All right, Anthony, what are you watching?
Citadel was what I was going to bring up.
Okay. Okay. Now there's 3 episodes now, right? So
Yes.
far. Okay. Yeah. Just make sure I didn't miss.
I'm
that.
just
I missed the 3rd episode. Okay, good.
I do think that you all should go see Sisu when you guys have a chance.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's on my list.
What is that?
Sisu.
It's in theaters.
Yeah, it's in theaters, and it's the premise is just a guy who he's a gold miner, and the Nazis try to take his gold, and they don't realize who they are fighting against until midway through this, and I mean, I will
I think
say that it
John
does
Wick
become.
in the end of
Of World War II.
Yeah.
Is it in English?
It's in English. I'm gonna say that I think that you all would enjoy it.
Oh,
That's
you haven't
just the
seen the
best
trailer,
way to
Tom?
put it.
I didn't. I saw you say Sisu is really enjoyable, but then you were
It's
talking about
Oh
enjoyable.
some
no,
other
Tom,
movie, and I
watch the
was like, is that an
trailer.
actor in the movie that she's watching that she doesn't like? Or
No.
No, it's
Tom, watch
really,
the
really
trailer.
good.
SISU.
oh no, I got it. I'm.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's it's an amazing one track note, and you'll just be like, this is unbelievable. This man's survival skills is unmatched.
Well, anything with killing like Nazis, I'm all for.
Yeah,
So
I'm
Yes.
fine with Nazi killing.
I'm sorry,
It's
Kanye West, but yeah,
stunning.
I'm all for it.
And you know, and I did tell you guys, I just finished watching the George Foreman movie.
Oh,
Clearly,
Lord.
nobody's really watching it,
Yeah.
but actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. They actually do a lot of AI in this, so that they don't have to try to refilm the George Foreman fights. They just kind of put his face in some of the actor's face on George
fight.
Foreman's body
Got it.
at that particular time,
I don't know
especially
if I can
during.
watch this film
Is
just
that
because
no,
of that.
no?
That's
It's
Does it look good?
actually
Does it look
yeah,
good at least?
it's pretty good. I thought that the movie there's some large problematic problems with it, but I think that's because George Foreman there's a reason why he's kind of ignored. Um, and
Well,
you know,
Mo,
and
Mo
so
Pratt brother plays Foreman.
it's a decent movie, actually. I thought, because if you have to think of this as not George Foreman the boxer, but George Foreman the man, and if you think about it that
And
way,
the
then you're
grill,
not as
Or the grill. Yeah.
or the grill.
or the grill. You think of him as the man, the
I
evolution
got
of
one in
him
the
as the
corner
man.
over here. You think I'm joking?
Oh,
I've had
6
two.
George Foreman grills.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
big ones.
So that's what
Feed
I'm
a
saying.
family.
Like, I think it's not that bad when it comes to the movie. I think the casting is good. The casting is actually really, really good. And Forrest Whitaker does an awesome job. in this.
Obviously.
Well, yes.
I mean,
But I think
I'll
it's,
keep-
I know, but I'm just saying that it's unfortunate that George Foreman doesn't get his props like he should.
I'd
But
rather
I
take
do think
the income from the grill than the props.
Yeah, he's making money off that
Making
a lot.
millions off that.
Sure is.
okay, that's fair. But I mean, the man
He's
has
the Michael
won
Jordan of cheap Teflon
two-
grill.
Yeah, but the man has won two heavyweight championships in two different types of decades.
Yeah, but
like, I mean,
we're
there's
talking about the George
Yeah.
Foreman grill, though. That's more
How many-
important.
Well,
How
also
many
he
grills
has
has Mike
a
Tyson sold?
great line of clothes at Walmart too. I have a couple of
Okay,
George
yeah.
Foreman shirts.
See, this is a
You know what?
disrespect that I'm talking about. I mean, there's not that many fighters who could say they fought Ali, Frazier, and then Forward and Holyfield.
Yeah.
You know,
Well.
and has two belts from both.
Hey,
of
look,
these men.
Liz. We know that you're friends with his daughter, so we know you got to plug it. It's all
No,
good.
his son. Me and his son went to school.
his
His
son.
daughter graduated when I was a freshman, so clearly we weren't the
Which
closest.
George are you friends with?
I think George the sixth, the baby one, because he's the one.
And that's what you need to know about George Foreman, that he named all his male children George. Listen, when we were kings
I get
is why I will always choose Ali.
Look, and nothing. No, I'm not, and I'm not disputing that. But I'm just. I mean, even when my son was in the theater, he was just like, "So wait, who's this? Is this?" And you know, like I was like trying to keep explaining to him. No, George Foreman.
He's the guy who
the
makes your
other
burgers,
person.
baby. That's all you need to know.
Exactly.
But even
I'm
the
gonna grill
casting
something
of
tonight.
Ali, even the casting of Ali, I was like, okay, I can get with this. I just thought that they did a really good job at the casting. They did a really good job at cutting corners to give us a really decent story. But I think that the one issue, like I said, the one issue, which is why all y'all clowning, is the reason why he gets the clowning is because of his political stance, and they don't address it head on. And I find that to be more of the more
I could care less about his political stance. I mean, to me, George Foreman, respect as a boxer, respect is coming back at his advanced age to fight Holyfield, but he will forever be known for his grill.
Wallace, stop it. You know,
Yeah.
He's right,
his
though.
stance
I'm
in the
just saying.
Mexico, his stance in that Mexico Olympics has shaped his career. And
Look, it might have.
shaped his
Listen,
career as a juxtaposition of Ali.
I don't think anyone knows or cares about that. I don't think the public knows or cares enough about that for that to be a thing. Because it's not top of mind. No one is like, man, I was down with George up until that point. No
The
one is
people
thinking
of
I
that.
his
know him for the
generation,
grip.
the
Obviously,
people
I know
of
him as a
his
boxer.
generation who watched him and Ali during that time of fighting, they
No,
absolutely gravitated
possibly.
to Ali
No.
for that reason.
Yeah, but
Obviously, I know him as a
no one just
boxer.
cares. I'm just saying, in today's climate, to release that film and that not be a thing that anyone's talking about. They didn't release that film for people from his generation to no. That's not. They tried to tell the story of a dude that anyone who, outside of knowing about him for the grill, he is, with all due respect, he is a footnote in boxing history. No one
And
is
that's
talking
unfortunate.
about George Foreman like that. He's
Well,
not. He just doesn't have that
Yeah,
that cred. Hopefully,
know
this
him as
film
a
does it, but
boxer.
it just doesn't.
We know him as for the grill. I personally recently know him for his stance against Kaepernick. When after he said it, he was like, "Oh, I better shut the fuck up because I'm losing this grill
But see,
money."
that's on brand. Is my point to you is that that's
it's
on
a
brand,
It's a bad brand.
Yeah,
But
it's a
yes.
bad brand. Yeah,
and that's the
It's-
reason
it's the
why
same
he's a
brand that they-
footnote.
yeah.
But it's fine. Listen, there have been a lot of heavyweight champs.
Yeah.
And there have been a lot of sports figures who have done other things. Ali was known simultaneously for his principled stances against racism, against war, for his Muslim faith. He was known for all of these things while he was at the height of his powers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had a second act as a historian and a sports figure who was commenting, blah, blah, blah. You had Abdul Rauf, who, lost at the height of his powers because of his principled stance. You had Arthur Ashe, who was doing other stuff after his Wimbledon days, but prior to the AIDS tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
George Foreman is not in that echelon, not even in the same echelon of Jim Brown.
I agree.
No. There's Harry Belafonte. There's all these people who did other stuff. Maya Angelou did other stuff. Gordon Parks, all these people who had two careers that were equally balanced. George Foreman being an idiot is like Herschel Walker being an idiot. Nobody cares about what his political, that's not the thing that is getting him. He's known for the boxing, and he's known for the grills and the shirts at Walmart. That's the extent of it. He never, because he was on the wrong side of so many things, that's not what made him a footnote. What made him a footnote is that he was not Ali. And he was in Ali's era, and there wasn't space for two people to capture the public's imagination in that way. And and then we've moved on. Mike Tyson became the next avatar of heavyweight boxing or whatever. And to the extent that Evander Holyfield kind of did, but he was still reflected against Mike Tyson. And so now today, a lot of these faces in the heavyweights, at least, you've got De La Hoya and Mosley and some of those people who are still kind of looming large in the space. But a lot of these people are, if Jake Paul is a legit boxing threat, then, the game has changed. And
it's absolutely.
I don't know if I would run out. I will definitely go see Sisu and Chevalier before I go see.
I want to see Chevalier too.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. If you like boxing, I think you won't dislike the movie. But I think that first of all, I think he deserves a movie.
Yeah.
But so I was like, I'm glad you have a movie. I think you deserve a movie. Absolutely great. He's the executive producer, so he whitewashes us even more. And then here we are. But so it's a decent watch. It's a 2-hour movie.
Honestly, I'd rather see a George Foreman movie about them grills. personally.
Like really, how he turned his boxing
He
fame
don't
into pitching
even
these
put that
grills.
in there.
I'm
Which,
sure
It
which
they
is-
is
would.
that's the
which
problem.
is a disservice. If it was
Disservice.
about the man behind the grill, it should have been
There's the title of the movie. George
The
Foreman,
man
the man
behind the
behind the
grill.
grill.
No,
Make that
no,
shit like
no.
Tetris.
Wait, George Foreman, When We Were Grills.
Yes, yes, yes,
If
yes,
you want
yes.
to watch a boxing movie
I'm gonna tell you
that,
this
that
is-
includes George Foreman, watch When We Were Kings again. Because
But this
that's
is
the story. That's
this is
the real
another
story.
aspect of the problem of the movie. Well, because it's really a Christian movie. That's where you're like, oh. this
You
is
don't
All
get
right,
to
yeah,
name your
okay.
sons all George
Hey,
and
look,
say
I'm good.
stupid stuff
Yeah.
and then grant
And his
yourself
nephew.
Christian.
Don't
Kiss
forget that his
my
nephew's name
ass.
is George.
Kiss
Yeah,
my
I'm good.
ass. Burn
I'm
your
good.
kiss my ass on your grill, George.
That's
Heat
a
it up
hot
with some
ass.
burgers.
It's a hot ass. That's hot ass.
That's a hot
Okay.
ass.
All right.
All right, good people. We won't be back next Saturday, but we'll be back the Saturday after that because we're going bi-weekly. Why? Because we got adulting to do, unless of course some major
Because
ass
y'all busy.
thing drops.
Hey,
and
shit
we gotta
happens.
get it.
Well,
But,
next
it
when we
is-
come back, we coming back to
Yes.
the family.
the who?
The family.
No, Fast X. Yes.
Oh,
Fuck
Yes.
that. No.
Mm.
Yes.
Fuck outta
Liz,
here.
Look, I'll do the one person review if need be. I've already got
Yeah.
my tickets.
oh no, I'm gonna see
No, we
it.
going.
All right. All right.
I've not seen one fast movie. I ain't gonna start now.
Don't worry, Ryan. I got you, Ryan. I got
All
you.
right.
I'll
Okay.
bring you. I'll give you all the 411. When I
Okay.
saw this most recent trailer, I said to myself, they give zero fucks about anything. Real, this dude, 2 trailer trucks smash each other. He's driving down a bridge with the
No, he's
or
driving
the
down
side
the
of a
Hoover Dam.
dam.
I said, now,
The Hoover
what the
Dam with
Hoover
You know
flames
what?
behind
I
him.
have to say
I said, I'm
that
okay. I said,
I said, no,
this dude
our-
is wild.
our bi-weekly schedule is really throwing me off for what I consider to be one of the must-see movies of the summer. And
What's that?
I'm kind of upset that we aren't going to be able to cover it as it comes out. And that
What?
is Book Club, The Next Chapter.
Oh, thank God.
It's gonna be
Someone.
so good.
Not
and
just
I will
me.
Be there
Who?
front
Who
and
did what?
center on Thursday night to
said
see
Book
It's
Book
Club?
Club. I
it's
love
basically
it.
80 for Brady Part 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
fuck out of here.
Book Club. Okay. All right.
Can we just like
Um,
get to our
But-
catchphrases
Yeah,
and get the fuck
okay.
out of
On
here?
that
He's
note,
doing
On
the
that note,
Hoover. He is writing down the Hoover
Okay.
Dam, and
all
I
right.
said, now
Uh-huh.
hold
Oh,
the
also,
phone.
White Men Can't Jump. The
Yeah, I'm good on
reboot.
that.
yeah, that's
That
it.
is
No,
going to
no.
be utter
We're good. Yeah.
trash.
No.
Next Saturday is not necessary. Saturday after that,
Okay.
we get Fast X.
Family.
End of the month, we get
No, you get that.
there's
Little
another
Mermaid.
one that drops.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah, end of the month. Cool. See, that's what I'm saying. Like every other week, adult movies
26.
coming out. And we get some dope series.
Spider-Man Across the Universe
Yep.
is
Mhm.
going to be 2 weeks after Fast X.
Yep.
So we're Little Mermaid may need to be a special.
I
Okay.
think it should.
Not necessarily a long thing, but I think
Okay.
from a social standpoint, we probably need to hit it. And then on week is going to be Spider-Man Across the Universe and
I cannot
the
wait.
Strays movie.
The what?
The who?
Strays, the dog movie. Will
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I'll
the
watch
Will-
that.
oh, the Will-
yeah, I'll
oh,
watch
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. See,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
gonna be hot.
Right.
Yeah, I'll
And
check
then
that shit out.
Transformers is also that same fucking weekend.
Well, I'll be
That's
watching
going to be a
Strays.
monster weekend.
Yep.
Wow.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man is June 2nd. So we're gonna have to do a follow-up for Transformers, I think, right? We
Yeah.
can't get away
Yeah.
with not doing that. I don't know that we're gonna watch The Blackening. I don't know about Elemental.
I'm not
and then
watching
The
I'm
Flash
gonna
hits
see
on
that.
June
Okay.
6th.
Because
No,
that's gonna be so ghetto
too
and
many,
stupid.
too many stereotypes. No, thank you.
Extraction 2 would be pretty good.
Yeah, that's a Netflix jump off. I'm
And
down
then
with that.
Indiana Jones at the end of June. This is a dense. Listen, I'm gonna be a shill for AMC. Go get your fucking A-list. Stop fucking around.
Okay.
I got mine because there's a
June
lot
9th
coming out. Yeah.
June 9th alone is worth the cost of
That's
A-list.
true.
That's 3 huge releases. Two huge releases. One release that it's probably worth seeing in the theaters. And apparently, they are actually going to be partnering, like I suggested, with Prime and with Netflix to bring, at least Prime, maybe Netflix, to bring some of those small screen adaptations into theaters.
Okay.
Oh,
Is
Extraction
really
should
smart
be
to me.
coming into theaters. That would be a really good idea.
I mean, it's not the worst idea, and
No.
it's on brand for Hemsworth. Spider Brain or whatever, that was horrible bullshit. But Extraction is right on brand for him. So it might be the first post MCU franchise that is actually worth participating in.
Maybe the first one was rough. This one, they said that they're gonna they're focusing less on the acting and focusing more on the
I mean,
action.
action.
The acting. Maybe we should, okay.
Yeah, the action from the first one was good. The acting and the story was unbearably boring and dull.
And
like,
still better than the Tomorrow War. So let's be clear.
that's
That
true.
it was.
That's true.
This is why I hate Chris Pratt.
No,
Okay.
that's not why you hate Chris Pratt, but that's fine. That's fine.
All right.
No,
Let's keep it
I
moving.
hate Chris Pratt because he's a Pratt. But if he is in a movie where there's enough other stuff going on, or you can't see his face because he's a cartoon, then I guess
Anthony.
he's palatable. He is going to have the #1 and #2 movies in the country this week.
Yeah,
Here's the
Mario
thing.
was-
Here's the thing.
Almost for the year.
Super Mario Brothers was good.
I have
I
so
still
much
haven't seen it.
respect. I have so much respect for the hatred that Tom has for Chris Pratt.
Yes.
Someone
But
like
I'm-
me who like hates things like The Last Jedi and Ryan Johnson, I just feed off Tom's anger. It makes me happy.
But
Yes, he
Super
is
Mario
my-
Brothers is worth every single second of the movie.
Yeah.
Yep, I
I'll
like that.
catch it on at home. Oh.
Yeah, no, it'll be on probably in the next couple weeks, but it was dope.
Oh, I don't think so. It's
yeah.
it's making too much money.
Yeah.
I don't know why because isn't this
It's over a
who's the
month.
studio for this?
DreamWorks, Illumination.
So that's Sony.
I thought no, Illumination is DreamWorks, isn't it?
I thought Illumination was like a partnership with Sony or something. Anyway, I don't think DreamWorks or
It's not on Amazon yet.
No, but they went 2 weeks ago. They already put the pre-orders up. I can't remember
It's
what
NBC,
the
isn't it?
dropping date is, but the pre-orders are already available for you to be able to get it.
That's amazing to me because it made $40 million last week in its fourth or fifth week.
It
it's been the number
deserves
one
it.
movie
It
for
was
six
really,
weeks.
really
It's
dope.
it's
It's a
just
good
the power
movie.
of Chris Pratt. That's what it is. It's
Yeah, but it also is the power of nostalgia. Like the nostalgia factor in the movie
Tom's
is
face.
beyond. I know. Chris Pratt is hard to get over, but the nostalgia factor of the movie is beyond me. I enjoyed it.
I
And
mostly
it's
agree
short.
with
Here's the
Tom.
kicker for
It's like
people who
fucking
want to make
Tom.
these 3-4 hour movies. It's short. So I'm willing to sit through this multiple times because it's short.
Yeah, no, hour and a half.
All right.
Yeah, in and out.
Okay.
Yep. All right, y'all. We're long in the tooth.
Okay,
We'll
sorry.
catch y'all in a couple of weeks. Love seeing y'all beautiful faces. Anthony, good sir, take us out, brother.
Good news, everybody.
McBain,
Open the fucking door.
Dr. Liz,
The family.
Fuck out of here.
Cunningham,
Where is my pizza suit?
Excelsior. The pizza suit.
Mm-mm-mm.
My plumber?